Aren't you tired of doing the same boring tasks over and over again in After Effects? Endless client revisions, tweaking keyframes after the animation is done, changing the brand colors across 40 compositions when you're already far past the deadline. Been there, done that. I was doing every single thing manually, and I knew I couldn't click my mouse any faster. So I learned how to build systems, reusable, controllable setups that expect revisions and changes instead of fearing them. That shift alone saves me more than 20 hours every single week. Same project, same deadlines, way less pain. In this video, I'll break down the 6-trick system I use in After Effects to work smarter, faster, and never fear a revision again. Every system starts with one rule, one place to control everything. I call it the remote, or the master controller, usually an invisible null or adjustment layer at the top of your timeline. I like to set it as a guide layer so it stands out even more. This layer is going to hold all of our controls: sliders, checkboxes, drop-down menus, color controls. By themselves they do nothing, they're just knobs. The magic happens when we link our properties to them using expressions. They become the remote control for our entire project. Imagine watching Netflix, and every time you want to change the volume, you have to get out of bed, walk to the TV, and blindly find the buttons on the back. That's how you're animating right now. Well, using a master controller is not just like using a remote. It's like using a remote for 5 different TVs. Instead of diving into 10 different pre-comps to change a color or tweak the animation speed, you change it once, right there. Now let's connect the remote. Trick number 1, the conditional switch. It uses simple logic, if-else. Say you have 10 lower thirds across your video. Sometimes the client wants them, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't even know what I want, but that's a different video. Instead of digging through pre-comps, turning them on and off, we add a checkbox control to our master controller, and this expression to drive the opacity of our lower thirds. That's it. Checkbox on, visible, checkbox off, gone. And this if-else logic isn't limited to checkboxes. Take this number for example. If value is positive, make the text green. If negative, make the text red. Now let's level up. 2 states are nice, but what if you need 5 options? Lower thirds with logo, without logo, with description, minimal version, full version. That's where drop-down menu controls shine. Instead of rebuilding layouts, you stack your versions and control which one is active through a drop-down menu. Same logic, slightly smarter. Update the number for each lower third. 1 for lower third 1, 2 for lower third 2, you get the idea. And if you're lazy, like me, here's a pro tip for you. Don't change that number manually. Use the layer name trick instead. Make sure you name the layers lower third 1, lower third 2, and so on. That number is important. Then use this expression. The same if-else logic, but we're referencing a number from layer's name instead of defining it manually. This comes especially handy when there's dozens of layers and options. We've all been there. The project is finished and the client says, "We decided we don't like this shade of blue." What? Instead of hunting through 50 layers, we link every single color property to a color control on our master controller. Text, primary color, secondary color, background. Now when the client wants ocean teal instead of navy, you change one hex code and everything updates automatically. An hour-long revision turned into a 2-second clip. You've just done the hardest part. You built a flexible, easy-to-control system. But if you need to create 100 versions of this video, tweaking checkboxes and dropdowns manually for every single version is still a waste of time. This is exactly why we built Plainly. You take this project file, connect it to a spreadsheet or an API, and Plainly will render every single variation for you in the cloud. Check out the link in the description, there's a free trial, test it out and see if it fits. So, if-else gives you hard switches, it's either this or that, on or off, red or green, but what about the stuff in between? What if you want a layer to scale up as it moves down? Position goes from 0 to 1080, scale goes from 0 to 100. Those languages don't match. We need a translator, we need linear. This expression says, as position Y goes from 0 to 1080, remap that to 110. You can map anything to anything. Color to position, rotation to position, opacity to time. You can even use this comp duration to make a layer automatically fade out at the end of the comp, no matter how long the comp is. You trim the comp, the fade follows. And if you want smoother motion, use ease instead of linear. Same idea, softer start and end values. This is how just a few keyframes end up controlling 5 different properties. And while we're at it, those few keyframes you still need shouldn't live all over the timeline. Keyframes are fine, keyframe ramble is not. That's what sliders are for. The final piece of our remote control, the 6th tree. We define repeatable values: stroke width, corner roundness, glow and shadow opacity, even animation speed, and connect them to dedicated slider controls. Strokes too thick, change one slider. Glow too strong, change one slider. Client says the animation is too fast. You don't move 57 keyframes, you change one slider. Even better, use linear to map multiple properties to a single slider. You want opacity and glow to increase while the layer scales up. Animate one slider from 0 to 100 and use linear to translate all 3 values. Before you animate anything, ask yourself, what is going to change? Text, colors, layout, animation speed. If you don't design for change, you'll always be fixing things late. Stop being a pixel pusher and start building systems.